video, and today I'll be teaching you how to add animations, in this case for a button. And we'll be doing this using an HTML file and a CSS file. Alright guys, so if you're new to coding, the first thing you want to do is create an HTML file. And to render this thing up, all you have to do is just press an exclamation point, boom, now you've got this little template going. And it's automatically going to be linked to this right here. So you can do this with like Live Server. How I'm opening this right now. Open the Live Server. This is just an extension on Visual Studio Code that you can install, and then you'll be able to right click and open it up. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is if I want to make a button, right? So I'm just gonna click on button. We'll add a button tag, and then I'll say click me. Okay, if I save this now, what should happen is let me open this again. Okay, boom. So now we got to click me right here. It's a button, right? And now I want to add some styles to it. If I want to add some styles to it, first I have to add a link tag to this. So I would simply just go here, type in link, and these are some shortcuts in the HTML, and it'll automatically connect to the style.css by default. So I can just save this, add a new file, call it style.css, and now I got my styles folder right here. Okay, so right now this is click me. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to wrap this in a container just so I can move the button around. So I'm going to put a div tag in here, and then I'm just going to copy this div ending div tag and put it right here. Okay. Save it. Nothing happens here. Okay. So I'm going to add a class to this. I'm going to call it button container. Save it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my style.css and just type in button container and give it some styles. First style I'm going to give this is a display flex. And then I'll give it a justify content of center, align items by center, and then I can give this a height of 100 VH. Save it. Boom. It's in the middle. And now I can add some, yeah, okay, so that's what we want to do. Okay, so now, this is just for the container. Now I'm going to start doing the styles on specifically the button. So I'm going to give this a class as well. I'm going to give this the class of button. Save it, and go back here, add the button, boom. And then first I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font size, give it like 2 rem. Okay, so it popped up a little bit bigger. Let's give it a font weight of 700. Okay. Now we give it some padding. Let's just give it 0.5 m vertical and 1 m horizontal. Save it. Okay, boom. Looks a little bit better. Now what I want to do is I want to add a hover animation to this. Okay, so to add a hover animation, what I have to do is do dot button and then hover, and then this hover animation, it's gonna be when I pull my mouse or cursor on the button, it's gonna fly up a little bit. So to do that, you're gonna add a property of transform, and then translate y, and it has to be negative t because the negative sign means it goes up and positive means it goes down. So negative 10 pixels down. And if I save this, now if I drag my cursor on this, it goes up a little bit, okay? Okay, so I want to make this a little bit better, make the transition more professional. This kind of looks, old-fashioned, so we want to make it more modernized. The colors aren't going to be modernized. I'm just focusing on specifically the animation. So if I give this a color of, let's say, red. Okay, text becomes red. Background color, let's give it pink. Okay, still does the same thing. I can give this a border, 10px solid, and let's give this purple for the border. Okay. Border radius, to make it look nice, let's just give it 10 pixels. These are the edges right here. So I save it, looks a little bit less pointy. And then since I don't have, my cursor's not showing, I can just add a cursor of pointer to this. Save it, boom. My cursor is now active when I hover over it. Okay, so the next thing what I wanted to do is you have to understand some translation things, okay? So these are the most common ones. You do transition, property is one. What else is there? Yeah, transition property. I'll just do this right now. Transition duration. Not like that. Duration. Okay, then you also got transition timing function. Then you also got transition delay. Now, if you're a beginner, you want to set it like this because, you know, this is the first time you're learning transitions. So, yeah. And what I'm going to do is for this hover thing, to show that it's active, I'm going to give it like a background color of red, and then give it a color of white. Okay, save this. Now that when I drag it, you see, it turns red and white and goes up. But we don't have a nice animation attached to it. So what I want to do is transition property. So this means basically like what kind of property you're giving it. Usually you just say transform. So I'm just going to give it transform. Yeah. And then transition duration. How long do you want the animation to run? I'll give it 0.3 seconds. Timing function. This is basically like, oh, do you want to give it an ease? Do you want to give it ease in, out? Do you want to give it a linear? Yeah, these are up for you to decide, like, well, how you want the animation to function. You can explore this, you know, somewhere else, but for this case, we're just going to use ease because it just looks better that way. And then the transition delay. Yeah, there is no transition delay, so we'll give it 0 seconds. Okay, now when I save this and I go to my thing, you know, we got a nice transition, nice, proper, modernized look. Okay, so that's how you do your transitions. Now, if you're like, oh, why do I have these 4 properties? How can I make it just more simple? So yeah, we can do that. Just comment this all out by doing command / and then press enter. And all you have to do is write transition and just copy the ones that you wrote right here, you know? So go transform and then just take the 0.3 seconds space and then do the ease space 0 seconds for the transition delay. In this case though, you don't really need the 0 seconds because there is no transition delay, so you can just erase that. And if you save it, it should work. See? So yeah, that's everything in this video. If you have any questions or want to learn more about transitions, just subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and yeah, that's it from me. Thanks.